Zoning Hearing Board to order. We are here today to hear from the applicant, Immaculate Claw and Games LLC, the applicant of property located at 1665 State Hill Road, store number 560, identified as tax parcel. I won't read that. The applicant is currently leasing a 2,500 square foot store from Berkshire PA Holdings LLC. The applicant is seeking a special exception as outlined in section 513.c to operate a claw machine, games, and store at the property. Property is located in a C2 retail commercial district. It is currently developed as a shopping center, the Berkshire Mall. The applicant is proposing to open an arcade-style store. For section 513.c of the zoning ordinance, an amusement room for the use of electronic and or mechanical coin-operated devices is permitted by special exception. Before we begin, I'll introduce the people that are sitting around the table. Nick Perilli, who I just met, who is our commercial zoning officer. Michelle Bear is the borough manager. Mr. Larkin is a new alternate to the zoning hearing board. Nigel Battiche is a member of the zoning hearing board. In the phone, the box in the middle of the table, is Robert Ullman, who is a member of the zoning hearing board. Counsel is Dan Becker, and he's assisted today by Julia Adams. I got that right this time. Mm-hmm. And I'm David Rothmal. I'm the chairman of the zoning hearing board. So, Mr. Boyer, well, no, first I've got to say that Mr. Becker is going to explain how we're going to proceed today.
Thank you very much. So I'll note for the record that the applicant is represented by Counsel Malin Boyer, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. I do see that there's two other residents here. We'll get their names shortly. But here's the way the hearing works this afternoon. The applicant has the burden of proof, which means that you have the opportunity through your counsel to present evidence and testimony to explain why the relief you're requesting should be granted. What will happen is once you've completed your testimony, each of the board members and I, as well as anybody who has standing, will have the opportunity to ask questions of you as well. After all of your testimony is presented and you rest your case, we will ask to see if anybody who can grant standing would like to put on any of their own testimony or evidence. At the conclusion, and you'll have the opportunity to ask them questions as well. At the conclusion of all testimony, the board will go into an executive session where we will deliberate and typically render a decision the same day. We have 45 days in which to do that, but we typically try to render the oral decision in the same day and then issue the written decision within the 45-day period. Does anybody have any questions about how we're going to proceed today?
No.
Okay. I will note for the record, I see there's a gentleman here to the back. Sir, what was your name?
My name is Robert Walters.
And Mr. Walters, what's your address?
2 Greenwood Mall. And you're here today to just hear what's going on? Exactly.
Okay, are you looking to ask for standing, which means that you have the opportunity to then ask questions and to have the right to an appeal if you care to appeal? Or are you just here to make a statement at the end, an unsworn statement at the end, let the zoning hearing board know how you feel about the application?
At this juncture, I'm here to learn what you people have to say.
Okay, thank you very much. You're not requesting standing. Mr. Janik, how about you?
No.
Okay, so thank you very much. So at this point in time, Mr. Boyer, we just have you and your witnesses that are going to be providing testimony today. So what I'd like to do is have them sworn along with Mr. Perilli and Michelle Bear. I believe that's all we would have. So how many witnesses do you have?
One.
One, okay. So if your witness and then Nick and Michelle, if you can face the stenographer, we'll have you sworn.
State your name, both.
There's actually, I think, just the one.
Oh.
And then Nick and Michelle.
State your full
My
name.
name's Rocco Devin Miller,
ROCCO.
ROCCO.
And what was it, the full name? I just didn't catch it.
Rocco Devin Miller.
Devin Miller.
Yep.
Got it.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
I do.
And did you get, Robin, just with Nick, do you have his information?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right. So all the witnesses have been sworn. Okay, Mr. Chairman, I think we're ready to move forward.
Mr. Boyer, it's up to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon to the board. I'm here today representing Immaculate Claw and Games LLC. Its current business address is 1665 State Hill Road, Store 560, Wyomissing, PA, which is in the Berkshire Mall. The applicant filed a zoning application on September 26, 2024, and it is seeking a special exception pursuant to Wyomissing Zoning Ordinance 513C for the use of coin-operated devices. Mr. Miller, if you could please state your name for the record,
Sure. My name is Rocco Devin Miller.
and how are you affiliated with Immaculate Claw and Games?
I'm the 100% owner of the LLC.
What was Immaculate Claw and Games formed in February of 2024?
Yes,
Is it a Pennsylvania limited liability company?
it is.
What is its registered address?
Its registered address is my home address, 10 Sawgrass Drive, Reading, PA, 19606.
Is Immaculate Claw and Games currently attending at the Berkshire Mall?
Yes.
And what does Immaculate Claw and Games intend to do as attending at the Berkshire Mall?
Coin-operated, claw-based games.
If I could show you what's been pre-marked as Exhibit Applicant 1, could you just describe what that is? Just tell the board what
Oh, this is our lease agreement that we have with the Berkshire Mall.
And what is that dated at the top?
It's April 2nd, 2024.
And does it confirm that you're leasing store number 560?
Yes.
And does it say how much space you're renting?
Yes. Yep, 2,500 square feet.
Okay. And it's in the term of the lease, is it a three-year and 3-month lease?
Yes.
Okay, if you could turn to the second page and look at number 8. It says there, use of premises, do you see that?
Yes.
And it indicates there at number 8 that the premises is going to be limited to claw games, vending games, party hosting, and console video games, do you see that?
Yes.
And is that the intended use for this store?
Yes.
I'm going to show you a set of photographs that have been previously marked as A2. Let's look at the first photograph. So tell the board what we're looking at in the first photograph.
This is our storefront. This is the storefront that we built out over the last few months. I was personally there every day building it out.
Okay. And if you look at the second photo, tell the board what is in the second photo.
Oh, those are all our claw games and stuffed animals.
So tell the board who's the user of the claw game, the intended user, if there is one.
The intended use is for anybody who likes plushies, stuffed animals, and playing claw games.
So how does someone operate each game?
So each game is one coin. They put the coin in the machine, and the game plays.
Okay. And do the games vary? In other words, is there different prizes or?
Yeah, there's different prizes in every machine to have variety in what the person may win. It ranges from trading card packs to stuffed animals at the current time.
Okay. So if you look at the next 2 photographs in the packet marked as A2, what are we looking at there?
So that is going to eventually be our party room. We'd like to host children's birthday parties back there and give them a chance to celebrate their birthday.
So the store is going to have claw games in it, correct?
Yes.
And then it's also going to host birthday parties for children?
Correct. Or adults.
Okay.
Depends.
Is Immaculate Claw and Game going to operate a licensed gaming facility?
No.
This is just going to be claw games and video games and things like that, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Excuse me, Counselor, what was the distinction you were drawing?
So under the zoning ordinance for the special exception, for the special exception under 513C, it says that a special exception can be requested for bowling alley, skating rink, amusement room for the use of electronic and/or mechanical coin-operated devices and other similar indoor uses as determined by the zoning officer, but not including licensed gaming facilities. So we're just confirming that,
There's no gambling.
yes, that's what we're,
Those are the words I was looking for.
there's not gonna be any gambling.
No, no cancer,
Okay.
definitely not.
Are there other coin-operated businesses in the mall right now?
Yes, there's another arcade that has like coin-operated vintage video games.
Do you feel that your store is going to adversely affect any of the stores around it?
No.
In fact, do you think it may help the other stores?
Yeah, for sure.
And would it increase foot traffic perhaps?
Yeah.
Does your store have available utilities?
Yes.
Okay, does it have water and sewer utilities?
Yep.
To date, is the store officially open?
No.
Okay. And it's not open because you need a special exception, correct?
Correct.
And you've been in attendance since April?
Yes.
And approximately how much have you invested in the store so far?
About 60,000 or so.
Okay, so this is a significant investment for
Yes. And we still continue to pay the rent every month.
Okay. Is the store ready to open?
Yeah.
Okay. And are you hoping, if possible, and everything lines up, and that you'd like to be open by Thanksgiving? Is it?
That would be nice. To get to Christmas, a lot of people come into the mall for Christmas time, children, adults,
So
so it'd be nice.
you're trying to get a special exception to get the business started?
Correct.
The zoning ordinance does have specific criteria for a special exception. I believe that Mr. Miller has testified to some of those criteria. I would suggest that criteria number 4, regarding the size and location and in relation to access streets and vehicular and pedestrian traffic is inapplicable because the store is inside the mall. The same would hold true for criteria number 6, which is in regard to the development of highway frontage. Again, it's a store inside the mall. And then again, is the criteria number 7, desirability of proposed location of an industrial commercial use with respect to probable effects upon the street or highway traffic. Once again, it's a store inside the already existing Berkshire Mall. I don't have any other questions.
Mr. Holman?
Yes, I had heard that he said no gambling. I just want to make sure that does not include games. That when he says no gambling, that includes no games of skill. You know what I'm referring?
So that's to you.
So, basically skill-based games,
Yes.
like the skill games that I see
At many different.
at many different places,
establishments.
yes, no skill games, it does not include that.
All right. That's the only question I had.
Where is this located relative to the other establishments in the mall?
In the mall, so the other arcade is pretty much on the other side, by the Boscov side, and I'm by where the old Sears side was.
Did you take over an existing space?
It was prior to us renting it, it was empty, but they told us it was a T-Mobile store prior.
Ah, okay. It's down the other end of the mall.
Down the other end, it's right across from a boxing gym.
Nice. Mr. Becker?
I have no questions.
Wow. Jeez,
Good job,
getting off easy here. Okay. Absent any other questions, let's move ahead with our legal housekeeping.
Before we do that, do we want to just see if
Oh, I'm
there's
sorry.
any
Yes.
unsworn statements? Sir, if you'd like to make any statements at this point in
I
time?
have one question.
So-
Would there be beverages sold in this establishment?
So let me ask that question for you. This time is your time to make an unsworn statement. But are there gonna be any food or beverages sold?
No.
Okay, thank you. So at this point, if you'd like to make a statement, you can make a statement. No statement? Okay, thank you very much. Mr. J, would you like to make a statement?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. At this point in time, then I think we're ready for the housekeeping, sir.
Okay.
All right, so, Michelle, we'll start with you today. So in your capacity as the secretary for the zoning hearing board, what are your duties and responsibilities?
I prepared a public notice that was advertised in the Reading Eagle on October 21st and October 28th of 2024. That same notice was mailed to all adjacent property owners located within at least 300 feet of the subject property on October 17th of 2024 at approximately 9:30 a.m. And that public notice was also posted at the subject property on October 17th of 2024 at approximately 2 p.m.
Do you have copies of those with you today?
I do.
We'll mark those as board exhibit number 1. In your capacity as a zoning officer, what zoning ordinance was, zoning secretary, what ordinance was in effect at the time of this application?
The one that was printed January of 2022.
We'll mark that as board exhibit number 2. We're gonna not move that into evidence, however, we'll take judicial notice today.
Do you want to enter the application?
We do, so we'll mark that as board exhibit number 3. And what is that, Michelle?
The applicant's application submitted by Mr. Boyer on behalf of his client.
Thank you very much. You have that with you. We'll mark that as board exhibit number 3. Do you have anything further as the secretary for the zoning hearing board?
I do not.
Thank you very much, Nick. In your capacity as the commercial zoning officer, what are your duties and responsibilities?
I reviewed the zoning hearing board application that was submitted and prepared the memo to the zoning hearing board that was issued on October 16th.
And was that the memorandum that was read by the chairman in the beginning of the hearing?
It was.
Okay. Do you have a copy of that with you today?
Yes.
We will mark that as board exhibit number 4. In your capacity, Nick, as the zoning officer for the borough, do you have any other comments or exhibits for us today?
I do not.
Thank you very much. Mr. Boyer, do you have any objections to those exhibits?
No.
Thank you very much. And you're moving for your exhibit to be admitted? So, okay. Thank you very much.
All right, with all of that done, I think we can recess for a bit and see if we can reach a conclusion. If you all will excuse us.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm much older than you, but I have 14.
Call the meeting of the Wyomissing Zoning Hearing Board back to order. Is there a motion?
Yes, I move that we grant the request of Immaculate Claw and Games LLC for a special exception from section 513.c of the Wyomissing Zoning Ordinance, zoning ordinances, subject to the terms and conditions be placed on the record by our solicitor.
Mr. Becker.
And those conditions will be as follows. Applicant will be bound by and comply with all testimony exhibits presented at the time of hearing. The applicant shall comply with the requirements of the zoning ordinance and all other applicable borough ordinances, codes, rules, and regulations. The applicant shall use and develop the property in accordance with all state and federal laws, rules, and regulations. Next one is the applicant shall obtain and pay for all permits that may be necessary for any improvements or any work to be done at the site. Next one is the applicant may not expand or otherwise alter the property in any manner that's inconsistent with the zoning ordinance without coming back for additional relief. Implementation of the grant has to be completed within 1 year of the date of the written decision, which will be issued within 45 days. And then failure to comply with any of these conditions could result in immediate revocation of the relief granted.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion is carried, special exception is granted, and you may start clawing.
Thank you.
Wish you good luck.
Quite a while, thank you.
Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Good luck, Mark. Thank you.
Good day.
So long, everybody.
Bye,
See you guys
Bob.
soon.
Thank you. I'm going to lock the door. I will be right back.